Hey guys, so last night was Fastlane. In my opinion, it was a really good pay-per-view. It wasn't too bad, not at all. But first, I'm gonna talk about Total Bellas. Brie announced that she is retiring. Um, and she wants to start on baby number two. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I very much agree with some of the girls on the AfterBuzz Total Bellas show. Um when they say that Nikki is the one that can compete with this era still, and that Nikki is the one that is still very passionate about the actual wrestling more than Brie is. So I'm perfectly okay with that. However, I don't want to hear no Brie fans, and I don't want to hear Brie complaining about Nikki not being around a whole lot, and W always calling on Nikki when you've proven in like the past couple of seasons, honestly, that you aren't really interested in the ring anymore. And because you attempted the suicide dives despite the fact that you didn't practice them and you just felt, oh, I can do it, knowing that you couldn't. You've pretty much shamed Nikki because she wants to get in shape and get in ring ready for Evolution, but that's not surprising because every big match you've had since Total Diva started, you've never prepared for, ever. And that's one of the big reasons why the other person has to dominate and do most of the work. Now, I'm not saying you're a bad wrestler. You're definitely a good wrestler, Brie. But a lot of your big matches from like 2014 and onwards, like the one with Stephanie and Nikki, like Stephanie dominated you. Nikki did a lot of the legwork. And I feel like once Nikki left for her neck injury is when you got back in full gear. And it's like WWE does notice that stuff. They do notice that when you're not in the spotlight, you don't try as hard, and then when you are, you try more. And it's like that's not necessarily a good look on your part. Whereas with Nikki, she was trying hard no matter what the fuck she did, whether it was guest hosting, a 2 minute match, being your valet, being a heel, whatever. She always put in 110%. On top of that, Nikki wasn't complaining about signings and all that stuff, which we've seen you do as well. So, and Nikki also wasn't bailing on signings and using excuses that a lot of people in WWE can use. There's multiple moms in the company. Stephanie McMahon is a fucking mom. She still shows up to work, signings, and all that. So, like, that's not an excuse to me. And there was actually a video clip on a YouTube on the E Entertainment where it was titled "Bree is always reminding people she's a mom," and someone was like, "Oh, Nikki's just because she's not a mom," and someone said, "Yeah, and Bree's just jealous that Nikki has a more successful career and gets the main event spots because she's not a mom." And someone said, "Nah, it's not that Bree." And someone said, "Nah, it's not that. Bree loves pulling that car when things get inconvenient. Let's not act like Nikki sits home all day and does nothing. She works and gets tired too. But because she isn't a mom doesn't make her less important." Which I agree with. I grew up with a mother that worked. And she never got the opportunity, or she never got the luxury to say, "Oh, I'm a mom. I don't get to work today." No one does that except for fucking Brie. But then she wonders why WWE always calls on Nikki, or why Nikki is always used more. That's why. You're not, if you want to be a mother, fine. But don't be surprised and don't get mad when you aren't given the same opportunities that you were when you first came in. That's all I'm going to say. And I like Brie, I do, but it seems like her fans seem to forget that Brie was pushed ahead of Nikki up until SummerSlam 2014. Despite the fact that, in my opinion, Nikki was always consistently better at everything. And I've been watching the Bellas since Diva Search 2006, and I've been a fan of the Bellas and a stan of Nikki since then. I'm not one of those Brie fans that became a Brie fan because she started dating Daniel Bryan. No, I'm not one of them. I've been a fan since the very fucking beginning, and I've always felt that Nikki was consistently better at everything than Brie. Not saying Brie's bad, but when Brie fans act like Brie was just giving shit her whole career, I have to laugh my fucking ass off because I remember wanting Nikki to get pushed and Brie consistently got pushed. So, but anyway, all I'm gonna say is Brie fans, don't be surprised if Brie isn't used as much, or if Nikki is doing a lot of the legwork in WWE, and if people call more on Nikki than they do on Brie because Brie loves to use her being a mom as an excuse, and I try to be funny, Brie is lazy as fuck. So don't be surprised when Nikki's continuously being used more and it's continuously being pushed to the forefront more. Don't be surprised. Don't make posts. Don't do none of that. Because in the past few seasons, she's shown exactly why that happens. All right, but if this is what Brie feels, if this is where she wants to go, then I'm happy for her. I am gonna miss her because I do love Brie, but I definitely feel like Nikki can keep the Bella brand afloat a lot better than Brie because we've seen that happen a couple times. So I'm not too mad about it. And I'm not too worried about Nikki being able to handle it because we've shown that, because it's been shown and very well documented that she can. So yeah, and also I can't wait for Bella Baby number two. I'm super excited for that. But once again, I don't want to hear no complaint or none of that when you aren't given the same opportunities as Nikki because you're a mom now and you like to use that as an excuse. All right, so now that we got that out the way, oh, and Riverdale was good. Riverdale was good. Choni has continued to annoy me, but what else is new? All right, now on to the Fastlane review. And the Fastlane review starts at 7:45. If you don't want to listen to me talk about Brie and her retirement and what I think and all that, then yeah. And Bree's had a Hall of Fame career, by the way. Don't get that twisted. She's had a Hall of Fame career. Her and Nikki will definitely be in the Hall of Fame. Just don't be surprised if she's not given as much opportunities anymore. All right. New Day versus Shinsuke and Rusev on the kickoff show. Good match. New Day won. Um, Shane and Miz versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Great match. This was a really great match. Um, Usos retained. Shane turned heel to set up him versus Miz at WrestleMania, which I like. Um, it kind of is a really cool dynamic where Shane and Vince are the heels in the McMahons, and Triple H and Stephanie are the tweeners, babyface types. So it's a really cool dynamic. Um, yeah, and Shane's attack was fucking vicious as shit. Like holy cow. Um, Asuka versus Mandy. It was an okay match, only about 5 minutes. I did like when Asuka went for her running hip and Mandy caught her with a knee. Asuka retained because of Sonya causing Mandy to trip, and then Sonya and Mandy argued all the way back. Um, this match was okay, but it that's me being nice. Honestly, this match was really, really bad. Um, a lot of people like to, and this was a theme throughout the night where because their faves are in the match, i.e. Asuka, i.e. Sasha Bailey, the fact that the match was horrible is put on the other person despite the fact that fans' biggest arguments for why they're such great workers is that they're in-ring generals and that they could get a match out of anyone, and yet this proved otherwise. In my opinion, Asuka's biggest issue is pacing. Um, Very similar to Charlotte, how when she has a slow pace, she doesn't know how to pick it up. Asuka has a fast pace and doesn't know how to slow down. And that is a Asuka issue because this isn't the first time that that's been an issue. And in my personal opinion, I feel like Asuka needs to work on that. No, there shouldn't just be fast paced matches with Asuka. Some matches have to be slow, methodical, things like that. So I feel like if there's anything that Asuka needs to work on, it is that. Um so yeah. Sorry y'all. My hair is annoying me. Okay. Um the Bar versus Kofi. Kofi tried to fight throughout the match, but he got beat up bad. New Day tried to help, got stopped by Shinsuke and Rusev. Bar one. Um, Basically, Vince told Kofi that the title match was up next. It turned out it was a handicap match, and if he lost, he wouldn't be in the title match. So it's basically Vince screwing with Kofi, which once again is making people pissed off. Is getting people more in love with his story, and yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not nothing because not trying to be funny for me. Daniel Bryan and Becky Lynch stories are very forced. Daniel Bryan not as much because I was never really a huge fan of Daniel, so I wasn't invested in his story as much. I should say I wouldn't say Daniels was forced. I should say I wasn't invested in him ever. So maybe that's why I wasn't really too into it. With Becky, I definitely feel like it's forced. Um, with Kofi, I don't feel like it's forced. I feel like it's very organic, very real, and I feel like they're doing a good job of making me wait. So, yeah. Um, Ricochet and Aleister Black versus Revival versus Chad and Gable. Versus Chad and Bobby Roode versus for the Raw Tag Team titles. Great match. Couple scary spots. Um, when Ricochet did a Hurricane Run off the top rope and Dawson ended up taking out everyone. That looked scary, but I understood what they were going for. Ricochet was gonna do a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, and Dawson was gonna end up cannonballing everyone and taking them out that way. So hopefully they practice um that spot some more because I feel like if they get that, that will be a amazing spot for WrestleMania. Because I definitely think that Ricochet and Aleister Black are going to be in the WrestleMania tag team match on the Raw side for sure. Because as much as people hate to admit it, those guys need protecting. And in my opinion, them being in a tag team is protecting them because that gets people because it gets them over with the crowd, right? And because they're so different and they're not like the same goddamn personality, like let's say the Revival or American Alpha, because they're so different, you can get into both of them individually in a tag team. And then when they separate, because you were into both of them individually while they were in a tag team, you're still going to be interested in them when they're separate or when they're single stars. So I'm perfectly okay with this, especially because a lot like Laycool, it's two polar opposites, but somehow they gel so freaking well together. And I think it's fine, me personally. I would rather them make them be in a tag team that's getting over already, keep them there for a few months, championship run, whatever, and then separate them or whatever, because I know that they'll still be over because people love them so much as a tag team and they love them individually while in that team. So they'll love them individually as singles competitors. That's my opinion. Um, but yeah, really good match. By the way, Ricochet and that run across the ring and that leapfrog over the damn ring post, yes. Yes. Um, Joe versus Andre versus Truth versus Ray for the U.S. title match. This got booked. This got bumped from the kickoff show. A great match. So many amazing spots. I love that Truth did a tribute to John Cena, and the rumors that it's gonna be John Cena versus Joe for the U.S. title at WrestleMania, which I'm perfectly fine with. Um, Joe and Cena have been friends. They did train together in OVW. They do have a little bit of history. Um, George Hermosa said that they had none, but they have a lot. They have a lot. um, so yeah, I would be perfectly okay with that. Um, Joe retained. It was a really great match. Um, Sasha and Bailey versus Nia Tamina for the women tag titles. I love the ladies. Everyone knows that I'm a women's wrestling fan before anything else, but this match was horrible. It really, really was. It was horrible. In my opinion, it was a humongous fucking botch fest on all their parts. I know that just like with Asuka versus Mandy, people are gonna try to blame Nia and Tamina, but honestly, Sasha was slow as hell. She was very sloppy. Bailey, her timing was off by 2 fucking minutes. Nia and Tamina were very off. They didn't get their moves right. They were constantly botching. Like, this was just a huge botch fest to me. And everyone knows I'm a women's wrestling fan before anything in the fucking world. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, that wasn't horrible when it was. I watched it twice. When I watched it live, and then I rewatched it on YouTube. And yeah, still feel the same way. Botch fest on all their parts. And George Hermosa, um, and I forgot the other guy's name. My God, Steve did a AfterBuzz Fastlane watch along, and when this match happened, George kind of explained why he hates Sasha. Well, not hates her, but like why he really dislikes her. He feels like she's too good for everything, so she doesn't try. She doesn't put in effort. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't like Sasha either. That's one of the biggest reasons why I didn't like AJ, why I didn't like a lot of people. So, and in my opinion, all this match did was alliterate that. Because Sasha did not try. You cannot tell me that Sasha tried in that match. I've seen Sasha put more energy into a kickoff match, into a kickoff mid tag match with fucking Alicia Fox. So, this was her first defense as a tag team champion, and you mean to tell me that she could have put in energy? No, fuck that. That's bullshit. Um, but yeah, I totally agree with him on that. That is one of my biggest reasons why I dislike Sasha. Um, it was really hard to watch. Bailey and Sasha retained. Um, then got attacked by Nine Tamina. Beth punches Tamina, then gets attacked by Nia. And Tamina and Natty tried to make the save, but she got attacked as well. This is setting up something for WrestleMania. I guarantee. Beth is actually still relatively young. She's like the Bella's age, and the Bellas and Natty are the same age. And Nikki, as we all see, can still go. Beth, we saw in the Royal Rumble, can still go. So, in my personal opinion, I would not mind seeing a Bella's versus Divas of Doom versus Nia Tamina versus Sasha and Bailey versus Iconics versus Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. versus Trish and Leah. That's like a good tornado women's tag match at WrestleMania. It gets in everyone that needs to be there or that should be there in my personal opinion. And in my opinion, they could do something really great with that. They really could. They could do something really great with that. Um Kevin versus Brian versus Mustafa Ali. Mustafa came in for Kofi. And I'm not mad about it because Mustafa is one of my favorite wrestlers on the main roster. Um and he never got his title shot before he was injured, so it made perfect sense. Um, Amazing match, amazing match. Definitely one of the matches of the night. Definitely my top fave three. Um, the U.S. title match and the Shield match was my three favorite matches of the night. Um, if I were to rank them, probably the Shield, the U.S., and then this one. But that's for personal reasons. But yeah, this match was just freaking insane. Um, Even though the crowd was chanting for Kofi and tried to hijack it, these three definitely got them to pay attention to their match. Mustafa Ali was fucking amazing, and I know that Vince is a huge fan of his, so all this did was alliterate what Mustafa said about Vince, that if you can get out there and make the crowd care about you and want to cheer for you no matter what the fuck is happening, you are going to be your ultimate baby face. And he did that. He went out there and he got the crowd to cheer and chant for Mustafa by the end of the match. And it was fucking incredible. Um, Kevin Owens looked fucking great. And I've never been a huge Kevin Owens fan. In my opinion, he's always been one of the better of the indie wrestlers, character wise, all that stuff. But I've never really been into him like that. This character and this wrestling style of his is gonna make me be into him. It really, really is. It's gonna make me like him. And I'm super excited to see where he goes from there. Daniel Bryan did his heel thing. He was cool. Um so yeah. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Boring as fuck. Horrible. I don't give a fuck what no one says. The Four Horsewomen did fucking horrible tonight. I don't care. I'm not holding my tongue. None of that. This was fucking horrendous. And I don't want to hear that, oh, it's hard to do an injury match. Bullshit. We've seen multiple injury matches, multiple take advantage of an injury match, multiple fucking times. And they've worked. This is just y'all. They just don't know how to do it. That's just it. Hell, we've seen Nikki versus Charlotte Night of Champions, where Charlotte, tweaked her knee and shit. Nikki did a great job of working that match. Bree did a great job capitalizing off of it afterwards. Um, you know, uh, Trish versus Lita at Revolution, like that was a great moment where Trish stayed on Lita's neck. Like, we've seen multiple people do injury matches. Randy Orton versus John Cena. Like, oh my freaking God. Don't even tell me. Like, there have been multiple times. Triple H is fucking notorious for it. Like, there's been multiple times where they've done injury matches and they've gone well. Charlotte wasn't doing enough selling. Becky was overselling. Their chemistry was fucking off. Like, no, I'm not gonna sugarcoat just because it's the Four Horsewomen. Fuck the Four Horsewomen in that sense. Not like trying to be mean, but like fuck them in that they can't be touched. I have to agree with everything that they do. No, fuck that. No. That match was horrible. I was so happy when Ronda came in. That match was horrible. Ronda deliberately punched Becky in the face in front of the ref. Calls Becky to get DQ'd. Becky won. It's now triple threat. Perfect. Great. Um That's gonna be the main event of WrestleMania. Fine. Um, and last but not least, the Shield versus Bobby, Corbin, and Drew McIntyre. This match was fucking fantastic. This was my favorite match of the night. This match was freaking fantastic. I loved every minute of it. It was classic Shield, from them going out into the audience to Seth jumping off of the stands, a tribute to his Evolution match. Um, yeah, just the whole match was amazing. I was smiling throughout because it's like, holy shit, this may be the last time we see them, but man, I'm super, super excited. If this really is the last time we see the Shield, at least wrestling together wise, I'm glad they went out like this. They went out with the fucking bang. Roman looked awesome. This was definitely the perfect main event. So yeah, I was super, super happy with this. I'm pretty sure that if Rollins wins at WrestleMania, the Shield, I mean Dean and Ambrose are probably gonna come down there and celebrate with him. So this was probably the end of the Shield match wise, but I feel like that will be the end of the Shield era wise. If Seth wins, which I hope happens, because as much as I like Brock, nah, I need Seth to be champion right now, dude. And I wasn't a humongous fangirl of Seth when he was champion for that long period either. But yeah, this was a amazing main event. I freaking loved it. It gave me classic Shield. It gave me the nostalgia that I needed from them. Um, and in my opinion, the best match of the night. Just my opinion. This was a solid B plus pay per view. Definitely my favorite Fastlane pay per view. Since it first started. But yeah, this was really, really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Um, Now we got 4 more weeks to WrestleMania. Um, I work on Sundays, and I'm not gonna ask off for WrestleMania. Because that's when I would make the most money. And as much as I love WrestleMania, I would rather pay my bills and keep my lights on and all that shit. So I probably am gonna watch a little bit of it at work, but I'm going to do like I did with Fastlane. I'm gonna go home and then I'm gonna start from the beginning, from the pre-show, and then watch like that. So, yep. Um, that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I go home tomorrow, so hopefully I can get a women match review up. A it will probably be Sable versus Jacqueline, Royal Rumble 1999. Well, no, I don't think it was Sable versus Jacqueline. I think Sable versus Jacqueline was there, but no, it's gonna be something from that era. Because I'm gonna start women title matches. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all have a good day.